Here in West Bloomfield, an unfortunate time for our community, especially for our Rotarians, as a titan of the Rotary Club of West Bloomfield, Marian Soditch, recently passed away. And joining us to talk about the memory of Marian Soditch, her impact on our local Rotary Club, is Scott Loney and Renee Roberts from the Rotary Club of West Bloomfield. Thank you both for being with us today.
Good morning, Tyler. It's
our pleasure.
Thank you. Here. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good to have you with us as we remember someone who had a profound impact on the club that you both hold so near and dear. Scott, I'll start with you. As a member of the Rotary Club and as someone that's been active in this club for a number of years, what will be your memory of Marian Soditch?
Well, there are several. The first memory I have of Marian Soditch is when I joined the Rotary Club back in 2015. She was very welcoming, but she also made sure that I knew that the Rotary Club wasn't just looking for warm bodies to fill a seat at the Friday meeting. She wanted to know who I was, more about my background, and why I wanted to be a Rotarian. So, as I say, the West Bloomfield Rotary Club, if ever we had a protective mother, it was Marian Soditch. She wanted to make sure that the people were there for the right reasons. It was all about quality of membership rather than quantity. And she was the gatekeeper, a very gentle gatekeeper. She wasn't exclusive, but she wanted to know, there you go, you're showing a picture of some of our friends. She wanted to know who we were and what we were about, and if we were worthy of being a Rotarian.
And Renee, that reflects really her vision and her husband Milton's vision for this club. They were longtime members of the Redford Rotary, and then when they moved to West Bloomfield, they began this club so many years ago. And as a founding member of this club, and as someone that's been a leader all the way up to her death at 95 years old, how does that speak to just her passion for service in our community and connecting those that want to serve?
Well, I would say she was 95 years young.
Yeah.
And one of my fellow Rotarians, Lori McVeigh, perhaps said it best. And she said she could not think of someone else that she would rather emulate than Marian. She was the epitome of service above self. And when her and her husband Milton started our club back in 1998, that was the beginning of a tremendous movement. Not only service to our community, but around the world. I don't know if you were aware, but in addition to founding the Rotary Club in 1998, she also founded the Interact Club, which is a group of young people from 12 to 18 who are gathering together to develop leadership skills and to serve the community and the world at large. And back in, it's been a couple of years now, Michigan Week, our Interact Club actually nominated Marian to be the recipient of the award, the Hidden Treasure, for the work that she had done with their local Interact Club.
And Renee, you said it earlier on, some of these different traits that people want to emulate in Marian from their time with her. And what are some of those that maybe you picked up or lessons you learned from her that you hope to emulate as you move forward in your life and you continue to have an impact on our local Rotarians and the greater community?
Well, I have always thought that her willingness to devote her time, her treasure, and her talent was certainly, worthy of emulating. And as we attended the celebration of her life yesterday, we heard that over and over from her family and friends, that she was very generous of all of those time, talent, and treasure, whether it be to the church that she was a member of for over 50 years, Refuge in Orchard Lake. There seemed to be no end to her well of giving.
And Scott, going back to you on this too, as we recognize the life of Marian Soditch, who passed away last week at 95 years old, a founding member of the Rotary Club of West Bloomfield, as Renee said, a member for over 50 years of the church community at Our Lady of Refuge in West Bloomfield. Renee talked about so many different messages and so many positive memories and people celebrating Marian's life. So as you remember her, and as you and Renee and others attended that memorial, now what do you believe was the message that came from Marian's life that we can all learn something from in Greater West Bloomfield?
Humility and persistence. You never heard Marian Soditch talk about herself or her accomplishments. She was just very persistent in continuing to do them. Every day was a new day. One of the things we heard at the memorial service yesterday from one of her grandchildren was Marian always told them to wake up and learn something new every day. And that's how she lived her life, and that's how she wanted her family to live their lives. If I could share one memory,
Please.
It just so happens that when I was the president of the Rotary Club from 2017 to 2018, it was the 20th anniversary of the founding of the club, and I had the privilege of presiding over that event. Undeserved honor, but one that I took very seriously. We had a big party with a band at Steinway, at the Steinway studio over on 15 Mile Road. And we invited Rotarians from across the suburban area, presidents of the Rotary Club, members of the Rotary Club, other service clubs, and people showed up that I had never seen before, and I must say haven't seen since. For this event, we had more than we thought would show up. Very gratifying attendance. And of course, as the president of the club, I would stand there and greet people and say, "Hi, I'm Scott Loney. I'm the president of the Rotary Club." And they'd go, they would just push right past me and say, "Where's Marian?" I mean, it really became a celebration of Marian and Milton, her late husband, and the work they had done to ignite a sense of community service in West Bloomfield. It was very gratifying to see. And that really impressed upon me the impact she had on her community. I mean, people came from across the metropolitan area to see Marian Soditch and basically celebrate her accomplishment.
Renee, going back to you, as we're joined by Renee Roberts and Scott Loney from the Rotary Club of West Bloomfield, as we remember Marian Soditch, one of the founding members of this club, and we think about service above self, as you said earlier on in our discussion on her life and her legacy. Going forward with the Rotary Club, how do you believe that her memory and her impact will continue to influence this club for the years and the decades to come?
Well, as it turns out, Marian and her family have decided that all donations in lieu of flowers would go to the West Bloomfield Area Rotary Foundation. And so that legacy will continue on to allow us to do work here in our community and around the globe. Marian was one of the most positive people I have ever met. And she, even in her passing, she would want us to be positive, and certainly those donations to our foundation. You know, there is a heartache that, you know, it cannot be healed. She would want us to remember that the love that we have for service above self and Marian will give us memories that no one can steal.
Well, Renee, Scott, we want to thank you both for your time today as we remember Marian Soditch, and our thoughts are with you, with your club, and with the great community that has surrounded her for all these years because of the way that she's served our community and has made others a priority in her life. Thank you both for your time.
Thank you.
And thank you.